welcome back to Study and Feely. I'm Ivy here, and today I would like to show you a little bit about cubic function. In this video, I will compare between the function of the cubic function and quadratic equation for you easy to imagine the similarities and the difference between this function. So I hope that you will enjoy this. Cubic function is always a thing that I want to compare with the quadratic equation. Why? Because I think that through the times I have studied about these two functions, I realize that it has many similarities and differences. So if you haven't watched my videos about quadratic equation, please come back there, or I will leave the link below for you to watch this video, because I think it's easier for you to catch up with this. Because in this video, I think I will remind you or repeat the knowledge that I already share with you in these videos. So I hope that you can easily catch up when you watch my previous video about quadratic equation. So just let's move on. So what is a cubic function? Actually, cubic function is any function of the form
y equal ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus b.
And where a, b, c, and d are constants and a is non-zero. So the question here is why a is non-zero? Because if a is equal 0, the problem here is this function is not a cubic function anymore. It will become the quadratic function. Can you guess that what happened if b continuing equals 0? So if you want to know what exactly happened, so just come back to quadratic equation video and you will see what's exactly gonna be happen. So let's move on. So there are some people still concerned that why can't I describe it in words? Because technically it's quite hard for you to understand deeply what exactly cubic function is. You know the original form, but you still cannot understand what exactly it is and how to have an overview about this. So let me give you the definition. Cubic function is any polynomial function where the higher exponential is equal to 3. So do you remember the higher exponential of the quadratic equation? So I think it is, and definitely it is 2. So now I compare between the quadratic equation and cubic functions. So the exponential of cubic function is higher than exponential of quadratic function. So this is the parent function of a cubic family. So if you don't know about what is a parent functions and cubic family, why I use the weird words like this one, so just come back to what is parent function videos. I will leave the link below in the description box, and I hope you will watch them and you can catch up easier with this video. And this is the parent functions, mean like the original functions of any kinds of function. So this is the original function of cubic functions in the cubic family. So this is the original graphs of the original functions. So as you seen on the screen here, this is the original shape. That means the cubic function always have the curved shape when you graph it. So even though like you can change all the number, like I will let you see in the next slides. So how can you change the number, make it bigger or skinnier, or move it up or down, to the right, to the left, whatever you want. But exactly, it still have the same shape with its parent. So actually, this is like, you can imagine you have the same color of your hair, the same color of your eyes as your parent. So this is exactly the same situation as the cubic function and its parent. So let's move on. So the domain and the range of cubic equation, the cubic function is like all real number. I will compare this to the quadratic equation for you to see exactly how different this is, because the quadratic equation has the range is all positive number, and the range of the cubic function here is all real number, not all positive number. So why? When you square any number, even though it's positive number or negative number, it all become the positive number. But if you cube any number, For example, if you cube a positive number, it will become a positive value. But if you cube a negative number, it will become a negative value. So wherever you cube it, it still has the same the same position, the same direction. If it's negative, it's still negative. If it's positive, it's still positive. So here, as you see, it's like a curve. So if it's positive, it will positive. So if it's negative, it will become negative. So the range of it is over a number. You can cube any kinds of number, even though it is zero, it's negative, or it's positive. So graphing function, do you remember about graphing function of quadratic equation? So if you don't remember, just come back there and watch this again. You will see it's exactly like approximately the same with cubic graphing function, but there's a difference here. Is like the exponential of graphing function is 3, of cubic is 3, but of the quadratic equation is 2. But also that you can predict the h and k is still the vertex. But if you don't know what is the vertex, come back to my first video about math. I will leave the link below. Oh my god, it's still too much thing to talk. If I explain over you, this video will last about 30 minutes, but I don't want to make it too long like this. So this is the graph, which is I used to indicate for you what will happen if you change the value of a. So if you change the value of a, you can make it bigger or skinnier or also reflect it. So if you see here, if I put the value of a is greater than 1, if it will make your cubic skinnier, as you see in the red cubic. But if you put 1, is this original form, or like this is the parent function of cubic family. Do you remember it? So if you add the value for a is less than 1 but greater than 0, you will receive a larger cubic, as you see the green cubic here. But if you want to reflect it, just give the negative value for a. It's easy, right? So also you can change the value of h in order to move it to the right or move it to the left. If you move it to the right, like if you move it to the right here, so just put the positive value into this one. So maybe 2, maybe this point is 2. So x minus 2. Even though x minus 2, but the value of h is positive, so you move it to the right. And it's a little tricky here, but if you move it to the left, for example, it's a negative 3. When you put a negative 3 here, you will receive like x plus 3, because negative with negative become positive. So when you want to move it up or down, you just change the value of k. Down is like negative number and up a positive number. That's easy. Let's move on to see. This is the original form, and I will let you see what will happen if x equals 0. So if x equals 0 here, all this thing is equals 0 and y equal d. And d is also the y-intercept. So as you see here is 3 functions, 3 cubic functions. And if x here equals 0, so for the red cubic, this is the y-intercept equal 3, equal 0, and equal negative 2. So as you remember about quadratic equation, ax squared plus bx plus c. So c is also the y-intercept, right? You remember about this? So as you can see here, this cubic function you can also factor the cubic function as the quadratic equation. But I think that I will not give you the particular way or particular formula for you, because actually the formula of cubic equation is extremely complicated. I don't think that you will remember all of this. I just want to remind you that you can also factor it in order to find a solution for it. And I will let you see how many solution at most and at least that you can get here. Actually, what can you see here? This is a small formula, and this formula will help you. Like, it's not help you to find the solution, but it help you to figure out how many solutions will your cubic function have. So when you in your exam or in your SAT exam, and you just have 30 seconds to solve this problem, so this is really helpful for you. It's real quick. So if this value of formula, when you replace the number here, if is less than 0, so your cubic function only have one solution. So if equals 0, your cubic equation has 3 solutions, but it had the same value. So that means that one value repeat 3 times. So we just consider as one value because it's all the same, right? So if it's greater than 0, so your cubic equation will have 3 solutions at the 3 points here. So it's quite easy for you to determine how many solutions we have, and you can easily choose in the multiple choice question in within like 30 seconds. So just consider about the A if you have to consider about the shape of your cubic equation. So when you graph it, just consider about A. If A less than 0, your graph is reflected. So it will start from the left to the right. So if the A greater than 0, so it will start from the right to the left. It's easy to remember, and you just need to summarize, keep it in your mind, and remember to do in your exam. Catch up. Let's move on. So finally, what is the aim of cubic functions? I always ask myself when I learn something, what will I do with this stuff? Why do I need to learn it? So this is the example for you to remember about the logo of McDonald's. I already showed you in the quadratic equation video. This is exactly what I'm thinking about. Compile 2 parabola together in order to create this McDonald's logo. Or you can use another way like a cubic. Cubic is like the shortest way, so you can make it. And I think in the picture is exactly the equation for this logo in order to create it. So if you want to be an engineer, this is what you need to learn, and it's really helpful for you. Actually, you must learn this one. So let's move on. Have you ever played this one before? I played this many times, but every time I play this, I always think about the cubic graph. Like, I always think about the cubic because it have the curve exactly look like the cubic. And I think that when the engineer design this one, they also use the cubic functions in order to solve it. So if you want to be an engineer in order to decide this stuff, so cubic equation is extremely helpful for you. Thanks guys for watching my video about the cubic equation. So also this is the second videos in my series of video about equations and graphs. So I hope that you really enjoy it, and I hope through the videos you will know the similarity between the cubic equation and quadratic equation, and you actually can determine what exactly the cubic function is. If you have any concern or any problem, please comment below and let me know. So thank you for watching. I love you guys so much, and don't forget to like and subscribe for my channel. So hope you guys have a good day. See you later.